right, thank you very much for coming this evening. I went to the Facebook group, and I want to say this real quick before I start. I went to the Facebook group promoting the program this evening, and it was rather unfortunate to see so many people complain that there weren't experts here, and it wasn't just scientists up here. But they're missing the point that it's not just a scientific issue. This is a cultural issue, it's a religious issue, it's a political issue, and it's a personal issue. So I'm very glad that we have students here and that I'm the oddball out from Olivet College. My name is Jeremiah Bannister. I'm a student, as I said, from Olivet College. I'm the president of the Olivet College Republicans, the fledgling group there. And I was the president of Olivet College-YAF for about a day before the Diversicrats decided that we weren't tolerant enough. I'm the co-host of the TV program Bannister and Sotheby in Battle Creek, the host of the political talk show Paleo Radio on WOCR in Olivet, and I worked with the lobby group New Jersey League of American Families with John Tomeke, who to this day is reported to have organized the largest pro-life event in the state of New Jersey. I obviously don't have anything quite so dazzling, and I don't have anything quite as emotional. And I've actually been left with an arduous task of pinning down what could be the Republican position. The Democrats pride themselves on diversity, and yet they have this monolithic voice when it comes to this issue. Republicans don't. Republicans have numerous different positions, and I'll deal with 4 here. So rather than attempting to give my opinion, which is something I'll reserve for the question and answer period, as well as the closing remarks, I'll do my best to lay out what I believe to be the 3 primary schools of thought within Republicanism. Now, you could technically say that there's 4, and I'll kind of mention that in a minute. Will this do justice to the matter? Of course not. Will it be a more honest treatment of the subject than were I to give you my paleoconservative opinion? Certainly. As a disclaimer, I must say that these are by no means blanket statements pertaining to all those who adhere to these particular schools of thought. I readily admit that many people within each of these schools hold diverse opinions at odds with what I would say are theirs, but for the sake of making it easy, we'll just make them 3. All right, the 3 schools of thought currently finding a home in the Republican Party would be described as Paleoconservative, Libertarian, and Moderate. First of all, Paleoconservatives. I choose Paleoconservatism in particular due to the fact that, in my estimation, the other forms of conservatism, most notably neoconservative, like George Bush, can just as easily fall into the moderate or libertarian camp on the issue. Paleoconservatives tend to be Catholic, traditionalists, and nationalists. Most paleoconservatives believe both that life begins at conception and that the state, possibly even the federal government, has a moral obligation to protect the unborn. This group would include Pat Buchanan, it includes Joseph Scacchi, Samuel Francis, Gary North, and Thomas Fleming from Chronicles magazine. Then we have the Libertarians. Now these would include notables such as the dark horse Congressman Ron Paul, who's running for president, Drew Carey, Lou Rockwell, Nick Gillespie from Reason magazine, and the 2 guys that put together South Park. So while Libertarians don't necessarily endorse the destruction of embryos, they take a more laissez-faire approach. Many of them, such as presidential hopeful Ron Paul, would be morally opposed to embryonic stem cell research, and yet at the same time believe that the federal government should remain out of it. Lastly, we have what I would call moderates. I place most all Republican presidential hopefuls in this, and they would say that you can experiment on certain lines and strands, but that they want to basically block it off from there, and they don't believe in federal subsidy. The more liberal types, on the other hand, do. In an attempt to be as honest as possible, I can only say that the Republican position is about as elusive as a 3-legged ballerina. We have them ranging from the far right to the far left to the somewhere in between. Interestingly, and this is closing, interestingly, this debate to some degree goes to the core of who we are as a party. It reveals more about us than we would wish to think. It reveals our view of life, personhood, the role of the state, and the authority of our Constitution. It also displays our idea as to where we should all go from here. While many may want to shun this as a piecemeal issue, it's far greater than that. It is this issue, maybe more than most others, that gets to the heart and soul of who we are as a party and who we are as a country. Thank you.